Mariners 3, Cardinals 2. Mariners go on the road and start this one off hot. Welcome to the Dom Skiing Channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's Minds. I'm on the road. We got this lovely picture in the background. Being on the road, got to do what we got to do. But the killer instinct in this game really showed. And it shows this was actually the game where you snap, an 8-game road losing streak? You snapped this massive losing streak you had on the road. And I mean, I don't think you'd won on the road since that first Angels game of the year. So pretty crazy. The Mariners win this one though, 12-15. It is what it is. Cardinals overperforming so far, 14-11. But the Mariners go ahead, and the reason I say killer instinct is because look, you get out hit by 90 points on batting average, out hit by double, 4 hits, and then you still score one more run and you just win this game. And Naylor, Kirby, and Bazardo are the 3 guys that I really want to highlight. So you go down the order, right? Only 4 hits total. You've got one from Josh Naylor here, right? 2 runs scored. He walks as well, getting on base at a pretty high clip. You got Randy out here with a hit as well. Then Dom Canzone and Cole Young. And situationally, you made the most of these hits. You come up with the second inning, you get a run off Andre Palante with just some small ball with Canzone and Young. Then Randy gets on base, with a double, gets driven in as well. Or Naylor and Randy, get in stuff here, and Canzone drives one in when Randy's on base. And then, the game is tied 2-2 eventually as Kirby, gives 2 up in the 4th. But it's all right. It's all good because you've got Josh Naylor, who's getting hot, who's 10 for 20 in his last 6 games, and he comes through with the clutch homer that you needed to win this ball game. George Kirby, another quality start, only 2 strikeouts. We're going to get into that. But Edward Bazardo came in and slammed the door shut. He was the leader in win probability added in this game because specifically he came in the tough situation and he made it happen. 4 pitches, hard hit, but you look at what actually happened. He made sure Jordan Walker didn't get into the air, which is all you got to do. George Kirby, he was throwing some more sinkers. He really just went with a 3-pitch mix. There's so much 4-seam sinker slider in this one. Really minimized those other 3 pitches, which I actually love. I've been kind of wanting him to do this. I like him having these other weapons and stuff, but it's interesting and stuff. But before the year, I was like, well, this guy is. I see a guy who, when he gets comfortable with these 3 pitches, 4-seam sinker slider, he's gonna get crazy whiff rates, and if he has that low arm slot, and if he's challenging hitters outside the zone and stuff, and it works out. The slider gets a crazy whiff rate, 43%. The sinker only 1 whiff on 23 pitches, but I'm still a fan. And going down to here, right? Kirby, see his line: 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, a walk, 2 strikeouts, 81 pitches, 7 hard hits. Not the best, but not the worst. Then he keeps the average exit velocity at 84.2, but 11 swinging strikes on 81 pitches, not bad at all. And the fact that he's using just 3 pitches, and that's awesome for a sinker slider, and that opened the door for the 43% sinkers to righties, leading the pitch mix against righties, which is awesome. And quite a few of them trying to put him inside too. He's putting a lot of them inside. Not as many as I would like. I would like them inside, out of the zone. And as you go back to here, right, you see there's 4 right there. Those orange dots. There's another one right there. So 5. But I would like a whole lot of these more to be, just sinkers inside to righties. And that's why the slider racked up the whiffs like crazy, because you put that thing in the other batter's box darn near, and then you're really cooking with gas there. The 2K today seems like a fluke. 11 swinging strikes and 81 pitches, absolute money, right? That's not too strikeout material. The results were good, not great for his standards, just getting the 2 strikeouts, allowing a couple of runs. But the underlying metrics show great signs for his ceiling anyway. So there's nothing to be worried about here. Is actually a lot to be optimistic about, even if FIP like this one, as the home run fly ball rate was 0. XFIP had it at 5.34. Those 7 hard hits has some of those going out for homers. He runs a pretty good ground ball rate. Runs a really good BABIP, and he's running a really good 257 BABIP on the season. And I'm optimistic about Kirby going forward. I think the big strikeout games are coming. Even when he had the 14 strikeout games last year, there was some lesser totals in between them, using that same pitch mix sometimes. And then Andre Palante for the Cardinals, kind of a ground ball rate monster who just had another day on the mound, in my opinion. 5 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. 8 Ks to 3 walks. The fact that he gets the 8 Ks, 12 swing strikes on 90 pitches, but then just to 88.2 average EV, 5 hard hits. I would actually expect a higher EV for a ground ball rate guy like this, and less swinging strikes and less strikeouts. But hey, the Mariners work the count against him, get those 3 walks, 4 hits. And it was enough on the day. Definitely would like to see some more today from the Mariners offense, which I think you will. But and then the xFIP love this start because it halves that home run to fly ball rate. The FIP doesn't love it at 4.27, then 5.06 in real life. And runs a 50% ground ball rate. Doesn't get as bad results as he could. That's what you expect from a guy like this. Now I've got to get this pregame up for today. I've also got a wedding today. I've got a whole lot of stuff, so I'm going to keep this one real short. But shout out to Edward Bazardo coming in the, I think it was the 8th inning. It was the 8th inning with Jordan Walker up to bat. Gabe Spire goes and gets through these lefties, allows some guys on base. That's the point the game could have turned, but Bazardo gets Walker to put one in the dirt. And the Mariners roll a double play, get out of it, and win the ball game based on that. So killer instinct. We don't have to be better than them in every single game, even when it's a team that we're better than. The stats are going to normalize, and we're going to win some of those games as well. So, yeah, shout out to the crew for that. I will see you guys today. Go M's. Remember, as long as you go 1-0 every pitch, stay stoic, give all glory to God. You can't lose.